Some truths are safer when hidden. But what happens when they resurface, dragging everything you love down with them? This isn't just a story about being unfaithful. It's about the aftermath of being honest. I kept telling myself I never meant to wreck anything. I clung to that thought, like it could undo the damage, like it could erase the look on his face when the truth came out. I met Evan during a summer internship in Seattle. I was 24, focused, ambitious, not even thinking about love. But Evan, he pulled me in like gravity. Quiet confidence, a sideways smile. The type of guy who could read a room instantly and make everyone feel seen. We were supposed to stay professional. But within 3 weeks, we were inseparable. It wasn't wild or dramatic. Felt steady. Real. By the end of that summer, I scrapped my plans to return to Boston. He asked me to stay, and I did without hesitation. We moved in together 8 months later, building a life that looked flawless from the outside. But perfection is a master of disguise. 3 years in, things shifted. Evan was still caring, still gentle, but something had changed. His late nights stretched longer. He zoned out mid-conversation, forgot things I'd just told him. First I blamed his job. Then I blamed myself. And then I stopped thinking and started reacting. That's how Marcus entered the picture. Marcus was a friend of a friend I ran into at a birthday dinner. Loud, impulsive, and the opposite of Evan. And maybe that's what drew me in. He saw me. Flirted without caution. Didn't pry when I kept my life vague. It started with drinks, turned into late-night texts, and then a hotel room, just once. But it didn't end there. I met Marcus 3 more times. No romance. No feelings. A shame. Every time I went home to Evan I felt hollow. Disgusted. Like I didn't recognize myself. I promised I'd stop. I told myself I already had. And I almost believed it. Until Evan asked me one night, straight-faced, one chilling question. "Is there something you want to tell me?" My heart dropped. I didn't know if he had proof or if he was just guessing. But I shook my head. Light. Again. He didn't argue. Just nodded like he expected that. That night he slept on the couch. The next 2 weeks were unbearable. Silence coated everything. I tried to bridge the gap. Made his favorite meals, suggested a weekend trip, even surprised him with a fancy coffee machine he once mentioned. Nothing worked. Then one morning he left for work and never came back. At 2:04 a.m. I got a text. "We need to talk tomorrow." He came by the next day. Calm, unnervingly calm. Sat across from me like I was a stranger and placed a folder on the table. Inside, screenshots, hotel receipts, text messages, even a blurry photo of Marcus and me. He didn't shout. Didn't break down. He just said, "I had a feeling. I wanted to be wrong." I tried to explain. Told him it meant nothing. That I didn't love Marcus. That I hated myself for it. And then, I said something that sealed everything. "I wish you never found out." He froze. Not, "I wish I never did it." Not, "Please let me fix this." Well, I said I wish he never knew. And in that instant, I lost him. Evan stood, walked to the door and said, "That tells me everything I need to know." A week passed. Nothing. Then came the email. He was leaving, ending the lease, and needed space. Collapse. Cut all contact with Marcus. Deleted every trace. Started therapy. After a few weeks, I sent Evan a letter. Raw and sincere. I wrote the truth. That I'd felt invisible. That I made the worst possible choice trying to fill a space I should have talked to him about. That he never deserved the pain I caused. He never replied. Months passed. I saw photos of him online. Smiling at work events, surrounded by people. Meanwhile, I was learning how to exist in a place that no longer felt like home. Then, a mutual friend told me Evan was seeing someone new. Her name was Grace. She wasn't a rebound. She was smart, kind, radiant. The kind of woman Evan always deserved. And strangely, I didn't feel angry. It hit me then. I had shattered something I could never repair. And all that remained was the echo of a mistake I couldn't erase. I still replay that night in my mind. The folder, his face, the moment my words broke what little was left. I wish you never found out. Sometimes I rewrite the scene in my head. Try to say something different, something better. But life doesn't allow retakes. I never thought the truth would surface. And now that it has, I wish it hadn't. Not because I deserved to hide it, but because maybe then I wouldn't be haunted by what I've done. Some people regret the affair. Others regret the consequences. But the deepest pain often comes from the words we can't take back. Let this be your warning. What you hide in the dark always finds its way to the light. Ask ChatGPT.